Continue reflecting on yesterday's games and the lunchtime kickoff at the London Stadium. Victory for Chelsea at West Ham, watched in the London Stadium by Dean Ashton. We'll start by talking about your former club, Dean. Are they better or worse than last season?
Well, yesterday was a lot worse. Obviously, really interesting to see how they would set up and maybe the changes that Lopetegui's trying to make with his side. I mean, it's not been easy, the fixtures that they've had, especially at home, to have Villa, Manchester City and then Chelsea. But it was just so odd watching how they'd set up. When you think what is going to be the real strength of Chelsea is pace on the break and Cole Palmer getting turned in the middle of your pitch. And so the way they set up with Alvarez dropping in between the two centre-backs, having your wing-backs really high, and then Paquetá and Bowen as kind of two tens without a striker, but then literally Guido Rodriguez completely on his own in the middle of the pitch, meant Cole Palmer didn't have to do a lot, just move left or right, receive, turn, get his head up, and then obviously Jackson's got the pace, Mavropanos. Alvarez looked incredibly slow on that side, and they just kept targeting that side, which is where the goals came from. And I just couldn't believe that they'd left themselves so open against the strengths of Chelsea that, to me, were so obvious. And he obviously made a change with Rodriguez coming off and Souček coming on. It didn't really change. But the fact that Nicolas Jackson can take a ball down the side of the centre-back, who was Alvarez, and just run beyond with no challenge whatsoever, and then you get a pass straight through the middle of your pitch, there's something majorly wrong if those goals go in, and they just never recovered. Again, it's another break. It's down that same side where they're wide open, and you've got Cole Palmer with time to take a touch, get his head up, and find whatever corner he fancies. It was such a strange performance from West Ham, and the stadium was empty, pretty much with 20 minutes to go.
Stadium emptying, Clinton, is it too simplistic to say that some of those fans who wanted more than David Moyes, maybe be careful what you wish for?
I said it at the end. Listen, maybe it was a time for a change, but I think it's like a manager who's so similar to what David Moyes wants to do. It's not like it's going to be free-flowing attacking where they're going to come out and get an exciting football. And I don't understand for the life of me, why he thinks he put Alvarez as a third centre-half when he's a centre midfielder. Why all of a sudden just rip it up and change the way you want to do? Because they looked all over the place. Every time Chelsea went forward, defensively, it was a struggle. I don't know why he just didn't keep Wan-Bissaka and Emerson and just leave it as a 4 and just say defend like that, because Wan-Bissaka's got the pace to be able to cover his centre-backs, and in a one-on-one position, he's probably one of the best defenders there is in the Premier League. But they were so open and the wing-backs were so high, they just got exposed. And even at the end there, Jackson's running through. You know the run Cole Palmer's going to make. And still a West Ham defender can't come back and track him. And there's a good finish from Palmer, but they're too wide open. And I said at the start of the season, I think West Ham would finish in, when you always have that outside in the top 6. Now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I know it's still early on in the season.
You said they'd finish in the top 6?
Yeah, because I thought the signings...
Wouldn't have been owning up to that.
No, I don't mind. Sometimes you get it wrong. But you know what? It's just the players that they brought in and the signings they had made, Rob. I thought the signings were really good, but it's not been a good start to the season so far. But they will improve.
When you look at... You touched on it, Dean, about how they were set up yesterday. Is it therefore a case for you that it was the structure? If you look at the sort of average positions that they're in, it was what they're being asked to do is wrong, rather than the quality of the players aren't good enough?
And I don't think they didn't look ready for it. I mean, again, if you're playing against Chelsea, where do you not want there to be space between your defenders and your midfield? And there's just a one number there on his own in that massive hole that's between. It's almost like a big circle with one player. So you're leaving all the space for arguably the best midfielder at the moment in the Premier League to just go and get the ball and turn with his head up. Like, I don't care who you are, what defender you are, you're not coping with that. He's got too much quality. Jackson's too quick on the break. So that was what was really strange, and the players looked really confused as to what they were trying to do, and they never recovered. It's not like second half the manager got hold of things, changed things around, and you thought, actually, yeah, they look more... They never got to grips at all with the game. And Chelsea actually allowed West Ham to have more possession throughout the game, knowing pretty much as soon as we win it, you're so open, we'll just play through you and create chances. And it could have been a lot more and a lot worse for Lopetegui yesterday.
And that, I guess, is the concern maybe for West Ham fans. Is it all seems a bit on the hoof at the moment. He went to Fulham last week, left Paquetá on the bench. I know he'd come back from Brazil, but still a strange one. Souček gets substituted at half-time. Then you go to yesterday, Rodriguez gets taken off inside the first half. Alvarez lasts until 9 minutes into the second half. It all smacks of not quite sure where I'm going at the moment.
And he doesn't know his best team. He doesn't. That's the problem.
Formation.
Yeah, all formation, and he doesn't know his best 11 at the moment. I know he's had time to obviously work with them in the summer, and he's brought in other players. Soler's coming now from PSG, who came on yesterday. But I just think Lopetegui at the moment doesn't know his best 11 and or his best formation at the moment. And when you're not getting results, you'll always keep trying to, change a few things until you can get the perfect result. And at the moment, he's going to keep changing. He's making changes at half-time, before half-time. So at the moment, he's not happy in himself and he's not happy with the team. But as I said, it takes time for all these new signings to gel. So you have to give him time. You can't just write him off. But yesterday was a poor performance because what you have to realize, Dino's played in this many a time. It's a London derby. The fans expect you to turn up. Some of the fans leaving with half an hour to go. That's not good. You don't want to see that.
It's another London derby next in the league, Dean, away at Brentford. As Clint said, you know the place, you know the supporters. How quickly could this get quite unpleasant for Lopetegui, do you think?
Very quickly, yeah. It's why I love the club when I played there, because they were so honest. So when you were great, they told you. If you were poor, you got told the same. So you knew where you stood, that's for sure, with the supporters. And the one thing I think they would have accepted, David Moyes leaving, is then to be excited about a new manager coming in, and certainly a very different approach, I think, to the team. Not to say that if you could look at Lopetegui, he's done well with other sides, absolutely. But it's always been defence first. He's always had a really good defensive structure and then played his way out from there. They've already had that. I was amazed at the appointment, amazed they hadn't gone for a different approach. So he'll feel the pressure very, very quickly. And they've not been the better team in the other games that they've actually got results in. So performances have to definitely improve first.
If you could forgive anyone, Clinton, for not knowing their best team, it's probably Enzo Maresca, given all he's got to work with. But he's the first manager in the Premier League since Pep Guardiola to win his first 3 away games. How impressed have you been with the start that Chelsea have made?
No, he's been impressive. I didn't like the way he handled Raheem Sterling, but ever since then, I think Chelsea have been really impressive. Bringing in Sancho, bringing him off the bench last week, making a big difference. And you've got to keep all the players happy. At the moment, will he be able to do that? Because he had Nkunku, who scored last week, who didn't start, but he made the right decision because Jackson scored the 2 goals yesterday. So everything Maresca's doing at the moment, I think fair play to him. He's trying to keep everyone happy. And Chelsea look good. They look good. Still defensively, I think there's few worries and they need to get Reece James back. I still think there's a few times West Ham, even though they lost 3-0, they did create chances and looked a threat and should have had a penalty. Somerville, they definitely should have been a penalty. But I think Chelsea are doing well at the moment and going forward, they look really good. When you can bring on players like João Felix, and Nkunku, and even Neto that was on the bench, your squad must be very good.
Yeah, I mean, there was £335 million on the bench.
There you go. Yeah.
That's just like, I couldn't believe that when I saw that. What a squad to have. Yeah. And what he's done already is maybe not improved yet, but players that have been bought for big money that were Paul Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Nicolas Jackson, they all look better already under him as a manager.
Top 4?
I think they're a really strong contender. I was really impressed with them yesterday. I could see parts of their play that was like Leicester last season in the build-up, but then they've got more of a dynamic edge when they went forwards. I think they'll do really well. I mean, the squad is incredible. So